What's the best Chuck Norris joke you've ever heard? Chuck Norris built the house in which he was born. Chuck Norris lost his virginity before his dad. But then he took it back. Because Chuck Norris never loses. Chuck Norris avoids sex because he will pleasure a partner to death, and he only kills people who deserve it. Chuck Norris once visited the Virgin Islands. They're now simply known as the Islands. Chuck Norris's dad died 4 years before he was born. When Chuck Norris was born, he spanked the doctor. Nobody spanks Chuck Norris. When Chuck Norris was born, he opened his fist, and in it was the anti-baby pill. The only plan B Chuck Norris has ever had was found in his clenched fist as he climbed out of his mother's womb. When Alexander Graham Bell invented the telephone, he had 2 missed calls from Chuck Norris. When Mark Zuckerberg invented Facebook, he already had a friend request from Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris doesn't mow his lawn. He dares it to grow. Chuck Norris doesn't use a vibrating toothbrush. His plastic one trembles in fear. Chuck Norris doesn't flush the toilet. He scares the shit out of it. Chuck Norris taught the training wheel. Oedipus' mother has a Chuck Norris complex. God has a Chuck Norris complex. As he lights up a cigar, the world quickly time-lapses because even time is afraid to keep Chuck Norris waiting. Chuck Norris doesn't go hunting because hunting implies the possibility of failure. Chuck Norris goes killing. Chuck Norris is not hung like a horse. Horses are hung like Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris never lost his virginity. Virginity lost its Chuck Norris. When Norris goes for a swim there, Chuck doesn't get wet. The ocean gets Chuck. When 911 has an emergency, it calls Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris donates blood frequently. It's just never his own. When Chuck Norris donates blood, he declines the needle and requests a handgun and a bucket. Chuck Norris red blood cells have black belts. When Archimedes said, "Give me a place to stand, and I will move the earth," Chuck Norris punched him in the nuts. Chuck Norris counted to infinity backwards. Chuck Norris only has sex in the missionary position because Chuck Norris doesn't fuck up. Google cannot find Chuck Norris because nobody finds Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris finds you. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button to stay tuned for more content.